Hey, you guys. Hey, Kiana. Welcome in, baby. How are you? Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. I am setting a goal real quick. Hey, Hassan. Welcome in, baby. Let me put this mic on my shirt so it ain't. Hey, Jazz. Welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Let me make sure. Honey, let me find out. I can see Jazz today. Let me see. Okay. I hope everyone is doing well. If I didn't say that already, I'm going to hop on my Safari real quick so I can see everybody that's speaking. Because y'all know YouTube be playing. Um, all right. Hey, Gigi. Welcome in, baby. Yes. Okay. I think I could see everybody now. Right? Because I don't be able to see your responses to other people, nor can I reply from my channel. Right. I'll be so irritated. And then there be some of y'all that be, commenting on my like on my posts and stuff. And I'll be really wanting to respond back to a lot of y'all, and I can't. All I can do is heart it. So please don't think I'll be ignoring y'all. I promise y'all I am not. Oh my gosh. Hey Nancy, welcome in, baby. Okay, wait, y'all. I didn't think this through because I forgot. I got my notes on this one, so I'll have to flip back and forth. All right. Anyway, so I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna skip out on this live, but I forgot I told y'all like a week ago that I probably won't be going live on the weekends anymore. And just kind of keep it to weekdays. So I'm like, okay, well, today's Friday. So let me just go ahead and do one more live because I've only been live one time this week. So I was like, let me just, let me go live real quick and give y'all something. I had already prepared this a while back. So, well, a few days back. I shouldn't say a while. But anyway, so today's topic, I want to talk about bandwagoners. Obviously, as it pertains to content creating. Hey, Shelly Shells, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Anyway, so so with this, I want to talk about bandwagoners, and obviously, I think most of us know what I mean when I say bandwagon. People are bandwagoners. Can you guys hear me okay though before I start talking? I'll be trying to adjust the mic to where it's not like so close to where I'm like all heavy breathing in the mic, but also where it's not too far where I sound like I'm in a hole. Hey Jasmine, welcome in, baby. Hopefully you get to I saw you was trying to get to your subscribers or something. Hopefully you've got there. Have you gotten to your goal yet? The other Jasmine. Hey D-Ham. Welcome in. Y'all make sure y'all checking out Ham content too, because he's been talking about the Shannon Sharp situation, and I think he's making some really great points. I don't want to talk. I don't want to touch too much on that, but I think it's so dope though, Ham, that you're talking about that because that's totally a man issue, and I think we definitely need a male, especially a black man's perspective on something like that. Because us as women, we could say whatever we want to say, but we're not men. So, you may see it differently. You experience things like that differently, being a man or whatever. So I think that's super dope. Not yet, says Jasmine. Okay, hopefully so. No, but I'm still going strong. Both Jasmines. Yes, stay consistent. You got this. Hey, Rozzy, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Um, so anyway, I want to get on to the topic. And so that topic is bandwagoners. And so when I talk about bandwagoners as it pertains to content creators, it's basically people who hop on every trend or controversy or quote unquote viral moment, not because they actually care about the moment or the situation, but because they smell clout, they smell views, they smell a bag or some type or some sense of relevancy. Hey, Spicy Brown, welcome in, baby. Um, Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to bounce back and forth so I can see everybody. Okay. Anyway, And so with these type of content creators, and this is amongst the app everywhere, not just YouTube, this is TikTok everywhere, y'all. Because I ain't even gonna hold you when I'm researching stories and stuff now, like I feel like I have to cross reference and double check to make sure the event that they're speaking on actually happened, because now that this whole AI thing is a big thing, you can create a whole story that didn't even exist and it can sound very real or what have you. And I feel like it's because people are bandwagoners, and a lot of people who are trying to join in on the content creating world or what have you, they understand that drama sells, fabrication sells. I mean, what the juicier the story, the more people are going to pay attention and tune in, even if it's all a lie. You know what I'm saying? And so I think we've all witnessed this so much. Obviously, we spend a lot of time here on YouTube, so we see it a lot here on YouTube, but there are also content creators that are doing it on other platforms as well, right? And so with these type of bandwagoners, like they don't necessarily add anything new to whatever is happening, right? They tend to just repeat what someone else is saying with maybe slightly different words, right? They'll be silent for a good chunk of time, and then suddenly you'll get 3 lives or 3 videos, when drama breaks out. Those are perfect examples of people who are bandwagoners as it pertains to content creation, right? Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of us content creators, like we I don't want to say share stories, but we all have different perspectives, right? That's why you guys support who you support, right? Like you like certain content creators for your own personal reasons. And so you may have heard the story or the take on the story from 3 other people, but because this is someone that you also rock with or you support, you may want to hear their take as well. And so in that situation, that is not what I am referring to. I'm referring to people who just constantly jump from one thing to the next. And basically, they don't know where they stand with anything because they go whatever way the wind blows. That's a whole different scenario, right? And these type of people, they, to me, it comes off like they go with whatever the dominant opinion is on the subject matter, right? They're riding with it, whatever the dominant opinion is or whatever the majority thinks, even if last week, they said something opposite. And so they'll co-sign on issues not out of their belief, you know what I'm saying, but to appear like they're quote unquote woke. People love hearing that term or using that term, that they're woke. Or they may do it to avoid some type of backlash. Let me make sure I'm caught up in the comments. Hey TT, welcome in, baby. Hold on, y'all. It's trying to update for me. Chill. I did not think this through today. I should have cut my TV on. Anyway, so anyway, back to my topic. So then what you'll find with content creators who do this, bouncing back and forth, flopping around from story to story, or having an opinion on every little situation or every little story that unfolds, even if they don't have the facts or know what they're talking about, they will suddenly become a quote unquote activist. And we've seen this so much. Like, it's so funny. It's almost the equivalent to people who on the religious side will self-proclaim themselves as prophets or preachers or whatever. And of course, those are 2 totally different scenarios. But I'm just saying, like, in this day and age, people will self-proclaim themselves to be something that they are not, or that they have not proven themselves to be, or that they did not study for, or that they did not follow, whatever the process is to be able to claim that title. And so here on social media, you always hear people, hey, Lolita, welcome back. We are talking about bandwagoner content creators. So anyway, so with this is you'll see that a lot of content creators will try to self-proclaim themselves as activists, as if it gives them a right to speak on, certain trending social issues or whatever. And you will know when you are dealing with someone who is a fraud as any type of activist, because they will be silent at other times when they should also still be an activist. You know what I'm saying? So it's a perfect, like, it's not hard to peep, like when somebody playing games. Hey, Lady Love, welcome in, baby. Sorry, y'all, I'm bouncing back between screens so I can make sure I see everybody and speak to everybody, or what have you. So if y'all hear me pausing and stuff, that's why. So anyway, so speaking of pretend activism, right? Y'all know I always got a term. And so there is a term called performative activism, right? And this term refers to when people, especially influencers or quote unquote public figures or whatever, like they'll pretend to support a cause mainly for public praise or views or, to protect their image without doing the real work behind the scenes. Hey, open book, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Right. And so their activism, when they are a performative activist, right, it disappears once the trend fades, right? They go silent when the issue, could cost them deals or followers or super chats. Like, yeah, that's how you know when you're dealing with a fake activist, right? Not to pretend. No, Jasmine, girl, it's a lot of pretend activists. Like, I really wish people would stop using the word. Like, even in the story I've been covering with Carmelo Anthony, the young black child that is facing murder charges or what have you in Texas. Now, things are floating around about their family's activists or what have you. And honestly, it's kind of getting me in hot water. To be real with y'all, I'm really am following this story, but I'm almost to a point where I'm about to stop reporting on it because what's not going to keep happening is Mud's going to keep coming over here being disrespectful about it. Like, I've had people come over and say very disparaging things about this young guy and saying, like, if he don't do time, they going to take care of him. I saw a, a I saw a video clip where like people are sending like pizzas and crap. Y'all know how people play and troll and stuff like that. Um, Jasmine said I seen earlier. No, for real, girl. Because listen, baby, you will get cussed out over here playing. I'm just telling you. Now I done took a lot. A couple of the videos, I've even disabled the comments for like a day or two and then turned them back on just so people could chill out. Because what they think that they can do is come over here and be disrespectful. Now you can feel however you feel. Hey, Lucky, welcome in, baby. You could feel however you feel about the situation. But we're talking about two children here, right? And two children that do not belong to any of us, right? And so the whole story is sad altogether. The fact that the child lost his life, the fact that there is a child facing a murder charge that is going to forever change his life, whatever way it plays out, whether he does time or not. And it's just crazy to me that people got all these opinions, which is fine. We're all entitled to our opinions, but you don't got to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And I like, and I hate, please understand when I say this. Ashley Chats strongly dislikes people who come on her channel and watch half of the video and then say something slick out the side of your neck and then think you're going to talk crazy in my comments. No, ma'am. So I definitely cut somebody out today. And I felt a little bad after the fact, kind of, for about 5 seconds. But then I was just like, no, you get what you get because you didn't have to comment that. But basically, in the video I dropped today, I was sharing a clip where they were saying that they have found that this activist that, is representing Carmelo's family or what have you, apparently he has had, several criminal charges in the past as it pertains to like domestic violence and, domestic affairs and all of that type of stuff. And so I put that in there because although I am very much team Carmelo Anthony, let's be very clear, right? I still can call a spade a spade. And if that is his past, I'm kind of looking side eye because like maybe he is or is not the correct representative in this type of case, because what credibility do you have if you put your hand on a woman, period? So anyway, someone decided to comment under my thing saying, he's not the lawyer of the family, so you need to do your research or some slick ass shit like that. Girl, first the baby, listen. Like, so are you deaf or are you just a dumbass? Like, that's literally what I asked her. Because, girl, don't come over here with that. Like, nowhere in the thing that I say that this man was his lawyer. I'm not stupid. I know the difference between an activist and a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? To be real, he don't even give lawyer with the way he be talking. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. So then here you come with another minion. Well, why did you say that to her? She wasn't disrespectful. Well, she is disrespectful if she's accusing me of calling this man a lawyer when I clearly said he is the family's advocate. But y'all so deep in y'all feelings because y'all feel like Carmelo's wrong and he should go spend the rest of his life in prison. All that. Like, that's your opinion. That's cool. Hey, Beneful, welcome in, baby. That's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking that from you, but what you're not going to do is come over here and be disrespectful in my comments and think I'm going to just let you keep talking out the side of your neck. That's what's not going to happen. So she learned today. Well, I'm not gonna support your channel no more. Girl, I don't give a fuck. You don't support my channel anyway. You over here, you came over here to do exactly what you did, which was to pop off in my comments without even fully watching the video. And even if you did, you did not watch for context. You watched so that you could respond and critique and attack me because I am not on the same side that you're on. And that is what is wrong with social media now. I kid you not, I was talking to my dad a while back. And he told me, he's like, I deactivated all of my accounts on social media. He said, because you can't have an opinion on your own page without a bunch of strangers who don't even know you thinking that they can come and attack you. Like, respect people's channel, y'all. Like, if it's not something that you support or you don't like or whatever, that's your prerogative, but just don't watch. Keep your comments to yourself or go take your comments somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just crazy and corny because the people who don't like you the most watch you the hardest. And that's so weird to me. That is so strange. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying for sure whether or not I will still continue to, follow the, well, I will definitely follow the story, but I don't know if I will continue to report on it because I'm not going to hold you. This whole sector saga bullshit that I touched on in the last 2 years or whatever, like that shit has given me PTSD to a certain extent. And what I'm not going to do is try to follow a story or keep up with a story and then have to deal with a whole new set of enemies because grown ass people can't be respectful or just keep it moving. Like if I don't agree with someone's content or I feel like they talking crazy, I just stop watching. I don't go comment and talk disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, in somebody chat. Hey Pratt, welcome in, baby. But it's crazy because people do that. And unfortunately, honey, today was not the day. Today just wasn't the day. Like straight up. So anyway, let me catch back up on these comments. Thank you so much, Lakey. I appreciate you, baby. Jasmine says out of line, but it's okay when they do it, but a problem when it's done. He's a child and affected all parties involved. Exactly, Jasmine. That's my thing. I'm not saying that he should not be held accountable. He should. But to be saying like he should spend the rest of his life and here's my thing, y'all. A child lost his life. Absolutely. Hey, Chrissy loves purple. He absolutely lost his life. But let's be real. They're trying to say it's premeditated, all this other stuff, just because he had a weapon on him. How many of y'all got a freaking pepper spray in your purse, a taser in your car, or something of the sort? That is still a weapon, y'all. Hey, Shay T, welcome in. Happy Friday. So just because you're walking around with something that could be considered a weapon, let's be real. If you got a freaking fingernail file clipper in your purse on a keychain, that can be a weapon. So to try to say that this child premeditated something because he happened to have a weapon and he used it does not mean that he premeditated, like he plotted it. Like I'm gonna go up here, this kid's gonna walk up to me and I'm going to stab him. Like, no, that's not what happened. Hey, Butterfly, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. So it's just mind-boggling, like how people want to, oh, well, he shouldn't have had this and he shouldn't have. Like, you should just mind your business because if it was your son that I ain't gonna say accidentally, but if it was your son that was in a situation, he defended himself and somebody lost their life behind it, you will be singing a different tune. So let's talk about it. Like it's corny. These people are crazy. I'm telling you right now, put your hand on one of my kids, they gonna lay your ass out and we just gonna deal with it after the fact. Period. That's just how it's gonna go. And I tell my kids that I ain't telling nobody take nobody's life, but get them up off of you, whatever way you gotta do that. And I don't care how nobody feel about it. So it's just crazy to me. The fact they're not even looking at the details. Everybody's so in their emotions, right? That's how it's supposed to happen. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Thank you, Butterfly. Like, let's be real. Like, my thing is this, y'all. If this child was really intended to take this child's life, why didn't he continue to stab him over and over? That's the difference in somebody premeditating. Well, I didn't even say premeditating, but somebody who is maliciously trying to take your life. He would have continued to, you know what I'm saying, stab this child over and over and over again. Like, let's just be real. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Because the fact that he stabbed the kid and took off running, to me, spells out that he obviously was scared. I'm sure he did. That boy probably don't even know where the child's heart is at in his chest. Like, let's be real. You act like he studies the anatomy of a, like, come on, bro. Like, if you're fighting, you ain't looking to see, oh, I'm gonna hit this person right here in the center of their chest. Like, you just swinging. So let's be like, it's just irritating me how these people getting crazy, you know what I'm saying, about this case. It's sad altogether. But people want to make it about race and all this other stuff. And if we're gonna make it about race, y'all, how about all the black people who done lost their life at the hand of law enforcement? And then it was dismissed. Or oh, it was suicide. Or oh, there's no fault. They followed the law. They acted out of oh, they were scared, but these motherfuckers got tasers, guns, bars and all type of shit on their uniform that they could use to take you down. But and that's justified. But two little white boys walking up on a boy trying to force him out of a tent, and then one lost his life. Now all of a sudden he wrong. He shouldn't have had it. He plotted it. And you in the freaking almost one of the racist states in the U.S. Like, baby, miss me with it. Period. That's what it's about, race. Sad to say, right, Chrissy? And it's crazy because even the dad of the victim said he forgives him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy because that's really what matters. The two families involved. Like, we can have an opinion, but it ain't got to be disrespectful or like become a thing of attacking one another. And that is just, I feel like, the culture of social media. You're not allowed to have an opinion, and that's not fair. That's not fair. Like, you can't tell people how to feel. And then because they don't feel how you feel like you could be disrespectful. And then when you get cussed out, now it's like, oh, why are you being so rude? Go. You better go play in the nearest traffic. Jasmine said if it was reversed, he would have been free and his family would be a millionaire by now. Thank you, Jasmine. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, let's talk about it. Like, I mean, if we're going to call a thing, let's call a thing a thing. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Beneful, if I didn't speak to you earlier. Hey, Roz. I've been going through it with people about this. Right, Roz. Like, it's crazy. Hey, Pratt, if I didn't speak to you earlier. That is so true, TT says. Hey, Butterfly. That's how it's supposed to happen. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Butterfly says, so just do enough to get him up off you and stop the threat. Exactly, Butterfly. And that's what I'm saying. But this is also why people should leave people alone. You know what I'm saying? And I shared a clip at the end of the video, and there was a black guy that basically said, like, can we stop trying to act like these boys walked up and was respectful? Like, oh, can you pretty please move from the tent or whatever? And I was kind of chuckling when he said that, because I'm like, no, that's for real. Like, they act like, I mean, come on. And he also said, if the boys had not bothered this kid or tried to force him out of a tent or whatever, none of us would have known that Carmelo had a knife. Let's talk about it, because the knife was in his bag. That's what I'm saying. None of this had to happen. There's so many things that could. Where was the adults? Like, we're not asking the right questions. Both parties, just like Jasmine said, both parties was wrong. You don't go over there messing with nobody, trying to tell nobody what to do. And you don't pull out no weapon and use extreme force when you finna fight. Baby, put your dukes up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, yo. Jasmine says, true, neither were innocent. Leave people alone. That was unnecessary and avoidable, but he was attacked and antagonized. We're supposed to stand by and be attacked and just take it quietly while recording. Exactly, Jasmine. And that's what I'm saying. If it had played out a different way, everybody be singing a different tune, and they'd have been like, well, he was scared. He's a black kid. Oh, he's a thug. He would have been a thug. He would have been all these things if it had happened the other way. And that's why I ain't trying to hear it. Like, get out of here. Or just walk away. Absolutely. Hey, Kim Kobe. Welcome in, baby. The dad don't seem like he's with the foolishness, just the net per usual. Right, Jasmine. Right. And I can't lie. That's why I'm looking at Carmelo's activists a little sideways, because when they had blew up the whole, I don't know if you guys saw the clip where the dad showed up at the press conference and the activists just went nuts. Like, oh, he was here trying to attack them, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then you saw the clip of the dad, and he was there, but he was like off to the back or the side. He had his arms folded. He was just sitting there, just standing there. You know what I'm saying? So I could see how that could be intimidating, considering there are people threatening their lives and things like that. But if you have not gotten a direct threat from the actual family, the father, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went in there with guns or, you know, no type of weapons, or like, why blow it up like that to make it look like, I mean, I could see how it could be out of line. Don't get me wrong. I could see how that could be uncomfortable because, it is what it is. But to try to make it look like they were in some type of danger or they were being threatened and to blow it up like that, I just feel like it just creates a whole bunch of unnecessary uproar when it's already a bunch of uproar happening, around the scenario, right? At the clip I was watching the other day, the dad had to keep answering the door where people were sending, food they didn't order and stuff like that. Then there was a random guy just ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell. So finally they put like this answering machine saying, "We can't come to the door right now, so just leave your message." And then he walked off. You know what I'm saying? So like these people have been doxxed. It's a lot going on. So I could definitely understand where they may have been like, it's inappropriate for him to be here, but it should have just been left at that. Not try to make it seem like the man came up there to attack the family, or something like that, because it wasn't matching like his demeanor, versus what was happening and things like that. And then I see this clip where he's like, saying that he forgives Carmelo because of his religious beliefs, and things of that nature. So I thought that was actually really big of him because I ain't even gonna hold you. I don't know if I would have been already in the forgiving. I think the Lord would have still been working on me personally. I'm just saying, like, baby, listen, Jesus would have still been talking to me. Okay, it's still fresh. So I think that was really big of him. But then for, like I said, this quote unquote activist to, hype it up like, oh, this was inappropriate. He was trying to do this, and like it wasn't matching. So hey Robin, welcome in, baby. Did y'all see the case in Allison case? No, Roz, what's that case about? Hey sis, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Um, so anyway, now that I don't went left field, child, let me get back to my notes because child, that just took me there. Just because I hate when people do fake activism and it just makes things very weird and sticky. So anyway, back to what I was saying about the whole bandwagoner content creators, right? When they come on the scene or whatever, they will create quote unquote, response videos to every creator involved in whatever, whether or not is relevant to them, right? No real receipts or a bunch of regurgitated receipts that they found from somebody else that had, again, it basically is like what a lot of people on here like to call inserting themselves, right? It's a bunch of regurgitation of someone else's information or whatever to feel like they are a part of something, right? And so when creators are more concerned about being liked rather than being real or authentically who they are, they'll align with any narrative that earns them some type of applause. And so even if that, like that could mean even if it contradicts, what they said a month ago or 2 days ago or last week or whatever. And again, we've seen all this unfold multiple times on the social media platform, right? So anyway, bandwagoners, they don't often stand for anything or don't know what they actually stand for because they borrow other people's words, other people's emotions, other people's energy, and all of that, right? They'll talk about issues not to educate or uplift, but to perform morality, right? So when I say perform morality, it's to present themselves or to make them look like they're acting out of moral code when really it's all a performance, right? And so they want to be seen as, being on the right side, quote unquote, without doing the uncomfortable work of thinking critically, or actually standing alone. Now, when I say standing alone, let's be real. Like, we are humans and we like companionship and we like, being connected to people. And like, let's be real. Like, you want to be able to connect with people, whether that's your mate, your spouse, your kids, your girlfriends, whatever. So there's nothing wrong with not always wanting to be alone, right? But there comes a time where when you have a belief or it goes against things that you believe in or your moral code or whatever, you should be able and willing to stand alone. And a lot of people are not willing to. So they will be very flexible and very malleable, I guess I should say, when it comes to their morality. And even if they're speaking on something that they know ain't right, they know they don't believe in, they can see what's happening and unfolding right in front of their face, they will still continue to act like they're on the side of right, although they can see the bullshit that they are involved in or are a part of, right? And this is exactly what happened when y'all seen me go live earlier this week when I was trolling. And then exactly what I thought would happen after this person left my panel, they went right to their page and started trying to troll me. And that's a perfect example of, again, like I talked about earlier, a pretend or a fake activist, right? You're an activist as long as it's convenient to what you want it to be convenient for, right? You will be an activist for the people you like, but when it's time to be an activist for people you don't like, then you MIA, right? When you can't, when it comes to social media, what you will find with a lot of these people is when they feel like they losing the battle or they lost the fight, then that's when you start getting the child like behavior, right? People want to pick, people want to talk about the way you look, and then they look worse than you, right? People want to call you fat and they 3 times the size of you, right? People want to talk about your hair and they ain't got no damn hair, right? People want to tell you how to do your hair and they missing the whole fucking top of their head. That type of stuff, right? That's what happens over and over again when people cannot think critically and or stand alone, right? So anyway, being woke has become a trend in itself. You hear people always talk about, oh, y'all sleep, we woke. You got all these random communities that people are coming up with and pretending that they are a part of. It's so ticklish to me that people who quote unquote used to be Christians and then they saw the light and all this other stuff. Now, because they saw the light, everybody else in the dark and nobody else know what they talking about. And everybody else should be ashamed, but everybody doing the same bullshit. I just think it's nuts to me. Like, because you are no longer a Christian does not make you more woke than somebody else. Like, it's the delusions for me. Anyway, let me catch up on these comments. Because people be doing too much. I'll be like, girl. TT says exactly, the activist went overboard. Hey NXS, how you doing, baby? Happy Friday. Just now getting your notification. YouTube weird, child. I understand. Ross says same thing. It happened 3 years ago. He is on trial right now. His bond was $1 million. It went down to 175,000, but not all of this news. Wow, Ross. I'm gonna have to look into that. Not too much on having no hair input. Jazz, come on now. Girl, you know you had a head full of hair, girl. This do not apply to you. And you don't be on here harassing and bullying nobody, so it definitely don't apply. Free says, don't forget the people who try to clown you for filters. Meanwhile, they stay filtered up. Listen, Linda, let me pin that on the screen. Because it be the audacity for me. And I'm talking about obvious filters. Let's cut the bullshit, okay? Who ain't taking a picture with a filter in 2025? Like, let's just stop, okay? Just stop. And I don't care what filter you put on, it's still gonna look like you, unless you use one of them damn cartoon filters or whatever, right? I'm gonna be real with y'all. I personally use filters just to smooth out any imperfections, right? That's it, and that's all. Not because I think I'm ugly or because I care about what the fuck y'all think. It's because that's the way I like my picture to look. Okay, if I'm gonna be real with y'all, that's the only reason why I have certain apps on my phone, because I like certain filters that don't look extra artificial, right? I want a filter that's gonna make me still look as close to what I look like as possible. I just want to smooth out where you might see a pimple on my forehead or some shit like that. Okay, so just cut it out. Like, stop trying to act like y'all unfiltered, because bitch, you need a filter if you ain't got one on. Okay? I'm gonna be the first to say it. Like, fuck out of here. Oh, she wear filters. Oh, she wear. Bitch, you got a filter on right now. What you talking about? Like, well, I mean, come on. Like, depending on how you go live and what platform, it offers you a filter. So cut it out. Like, stop it. Y'all be hiding y'all beards, mustaches, y'all beady eyes. Some of y'all look. Child, I'm a hush because I don't want to lose no supporters. Okay. But please don't hype me up. Okay. Because it be the audacity for me. The audacity. I'm the smallest, but baby, I'm not fat. I can promise you that. And ain't nothing wrong with nobody who is. But I'm just saying I'm not. But it's crazy because the main people that be out here talking crazy be exactly what they call somebody else. You fat, you busted, you wear filters, you ain't got no hair, you ain't got no edges, like you ain't got no man. And if you got one, he ain't checking for you. That's why your ass online all the time. Like, let's talk about it. Like, get out of here, bro. Yes, so with those filters, Laura, it's just a screen. Right, Jazz? Like, I mean, who cares? Honestly, if you take care of yourself in real life, it don't matter whether you got a filter on or not. Because when you pull up in real life, you gonna see what you see. Like, stop it. I'm walking around like a sim. Humble Me Hype says, I don't use filters. I just be outside with that flat makeup. Like, what's happening? Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be real with y'all. In real life, most times I don't even wear makeup. I wear it when I do put it on. It's like I put it on in certain areas, like under my eye, maybe a spot or two on my cheek or something. Like literally, whether I use a filter or I put on a little bit of makeup, it's literally just to even out my skin tone. That's it, and that's all. I like to keep it as natural as possible. Now you ain't gonna catch me without no lashes now. I gotta have my lashes, but it's just I like the way lashes look. I just feel like with lashes, you don't have to do extra makeup because it already like complements your eyes. You know what I'm saying? But that's it and that's all. And I'll snatch them mugs off. I put my own lashes on. Now, like people be doing too much, trying to act like, oh, she wear filters. Oh, she girl who ain't wearing a filter. Like, stop it. Um, Other than Humble Me Hype. Humble Me says she don't wear filters. And I mean, let's be real. Some people we can tell when if they ain't got no filter on. But it's like if you come in every one of they videos, photos, whatever is completely clear, like not picture perfect, but no imperfections, just very smooth. Like, let's be real. Ain't nobody face like that, bitch, especially if you don't have kids. It take everything out of you to have a kid. Straight up. Hell, I got eczema now. I ain't had eczema my whole life. Like, let's be real. Let's see. Lashes have me in a chokehold. Right, Jazz. I love my lashes, honey. And that's another reason why I don't really wear makeup. Because, girl, if you got lashes on, girl, shoot, that's half the battle. All lashes matter, honey. um, there's levels to lashes because some be looking like lamb chops. Absolutely free. Absolutely. And there's a certain way I put mine on. Honestly, I probably could do a tutorial with y'all to be real. But there's a certain way I put them on because I used to wear them wrong. Child, that's a whole nother live. I ain't even finna do it. I ain't even finna do it. But you're right. Some of them do be looking very lamb chopish. I had a horrible experience with lashes 2 times. I can't do them for some reason. Really? I love my lashes. I wear strips and I wear individuals. It just depends on the day. Yes, every lash matter. Yes, yes, honey. I'm telling you, it makes a difference, child. A difference for real. Hey, Kimberly, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. I think I'm allergic for real. You might be humble because there's many different lash glues and stuff, and so there's different chemicals and things like that. So you may be, or you just may have sensitive skin. But luckily, I don't. Like I mean, my skin is sensitive to an extent, but not like I've been wearing lashes so long, honey. If I am allergic, I ain't allergic no more. So I love my lashes, honey. I ain't going nowhere without them. Shall I be all at the grocery store with my lashes on? Anyway, and that's not no insecurity thing. I just really like the way it looks when they done right. Um, so anyway, back to what I was saying, right? So this whole culture of being woke, I feel like has become a trend in itself, right? Bandwagoners wear it like a costume, right? Oh, I'm woke, I'm woke, I'm woke. Y'all sleep. I know everything. Y'all don't know nothing. That type of thing, right? And basically, these people have just enough activism to gain, or they will perform just enough activism to gain respect, but not enough to actually challenge power or to question actual systems and make a change in the world for real where it actually matters, right? Or to show vulnerability. And speaking of vulnerability, I think it's hilarious. And I actually was laughing about this with my sis, like how some people you could tell that they have a certain level of evil because to feel like certain things make you weak, normal shit like accepting people's apologies or extending grace or forgiveness to someone because we understand that, hey, I'm a human and I mess up too. That type of stuff. When people view that type of stuff as weak, like it tells you a lot about their character and their heart posture. And just, I mean, just it just runs deep, honestly. Like you'll go down a rabbit hole with that whole situation because it's crazy to me, like how, people see what I think is commendable, right? Like I just said, like in the Carmelo Anthony case, the father of the victim said that he has forgiven Carmelo based on his religion, right? He says the Bible says that he is supposed to forgive, right? And then you had dummies in my comments that was like, "Oh, he's not a real father. I wouldn't want him as a father." Are you for real? Be shaking my head because I'm like, people be really thinking that they don't look stupid, but they look extra dumb. Extra dumb. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's crazy, but it just tells you like the state of the world and the state of people's mental space. Like, for someone to extend forgiveness in what I think has probably got to be the hardest and probably one of the most painful experiences is to lose a child, right? I've never experienced that and I don't want to. And I hope to God I never have to. But I can't even imagine the pain and still be able to stand with a straight face on TV and say, you know what, I've forgiven him because that's what the Bible tells me to do. That's crazy. And people be like, oh, I wouldn't want him as a father. He ain't no real father. He's trash. Da, 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 da. But child, people crazy. I'm telling you, people are crazy, freaking nuts to be exact. Like, unbelievable. Um, Humble, you have to get the magnetic ones. Oh yeah, they do have magnetic ones. I tried those, but they don't stay on long enough. Like after an hour or two, child, one side or the other be like flying, and I ain't got time for that. Um, Jasmine says I used to have an allergic reaction. I'm talking swollen lids, itching, runny nose. No way, Jazz. Girl, not you about to be taken out by the lashes. I'm weak. But you know what, Jazz? Like when I used to get, like when I used to let other people do them, like the individuals or whatever, because everybody used different glues and stuff. I used to go through that. I used to go through that. So that's why I like when I would find a girl I like, I would always go to the same girl because then my eyes would just adjust. But it would suck. Like, say we just moved to a new area or something, it would take me so long to find someone that I like the way they did my lashes because I like my lashes to look full, like not like ridiculous. Like I don't want to look like I got bat wings on my eyes or nothing like that, but I do want to look like I got on some lashes, like an adult, not like the childish baby lashes. Like I think it's pointless for people even to get classic lashes and be bragging. Like, girl, you could have just put some mascara on, girl. Why? Like, what's the point? I ain't got time for that, baby. I need them to know I got lashes on. Yeah, humble. They have them on Amazon. Might be a shot. I'm just scared because I need my eyes. I need my eyes too, honey. It was. I'm giving her my experience with allergies. Oh, that is crazy. Hey, Miss E, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Actually, I might be crazy, but I really don't believe he forgives him. I'm gonna be real with you, Roz. I definitely was like, really, like, I don't know. I don't blame you. I do not think you're wrong for that because I just think it's too soon. Like, and he's too calm about it. So I trust me. I am not judging you for that comment at all because I ain't gonna lie. I was like, what? Because, like I said, with the way people are carrying on and the outrage, it just didn't match. But I mean, he has also said, statements about like, he feels like people are trying to use his son's death, to create a race war. And I agree with that. And that's why in the video I shared about the father, I think maybe 2 or 3 days ago, he went off on that fake ass activist. Hence the topic today, which is not Carmelo, but fake activism as pertains to content creating or across the board. But anyway, that activist was really trying to get him to be on demon time. You know what I'm saying? Protests and all that. And he was just saying, like, you're a part of the problem. And people didn't like that. And so, like I said, that's why I think a lot of people was coming crazy in the comments, like, oh, he's not a real father, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, like, it's so crazy, like how some people find it hard to believe that there are decent people in the world, right? Just because you would seek revenge or you would go try to take the life of a child or some corny shit like that, don't mean that everybody in the world would do that. You know what I'm saying? There are people who have forgiving others for taking something that they love away from them. I've seen it myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and honestly, I think that's so stand up. I think it's so commendable. I don't even know if it's something I would be able to do because it's not something I've experienced. I'm going to be very real with y'all though. With the way I am, I probably would be that person. Like as hard as it is, I would let it rock. Because what can you do? Your baby's still gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just I don't know because I've never been in that situation, but I just know me because I do shit that don't make sense and I irritate myself on baby Jesus because I'm like, why? Why are you extending this person grace? Why are you willing to forgive this person? Why are you willing to give this person another chance? You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But you know why? People like to try to make fun of Christianity and people who believe in God and all that. But baby, that stuff was instilled in me as a child. And one thing I do know, and it's so crazy because I was having a conversation the other day. Um, I was triggered by something I saw here on YouTube as it pertains to domestic violence, right? And that is something that I witnessed as a child. And I got so triggered and I started crying and all of that because it's crazy to me, like how people don't understand what real content creation is, right? And the things that people make a mockery out of and laugh about and talk about, you don't understand how it could be so triggering for someone else, right? And so this post that I saw was someone who had been affected by domestic violence, right? Hold on, y'all. Hey, Gwen, welcome in, baby. And so I say all of that to say this, right? People laugh at people's circumstances, they make fun of them, they think it's content or whatever. But you don't understand what people are really living through and what they have been through, right? And so, yeah, y'all will see me get on here. I'll troll, I'll cuss somebody out, I'll show my ass from time to time. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm very much human and I will cuss you out in real life. And you ain't gotta be online. Hell, ask my neighbors. Okay? Anyway, but the thing about it all is once I say my piece, that's it. Now we going if you want to keep on and keep on and poking and poking and poking, then you get what you get. But at the end of the day, right, we go through a lot of things in life and it morphs us and shapes us into the people that we are today, right? And that's why you see people who are horrible individuals, right? Maybe to us personally, maybe not to everybody, but you personally probably feel like certain people suck, right? And that's because of your morals and things you've experienced and your belief systems and all of that, right? So when I saw this post and I started thinking about all the things that I witnessed on social media, I was very much triggered because I was like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. People think that everything's funny, that everything's content, and all, and you don't understand how things are triggering to people. You don't know how people relate to situations or any of that, right? Because we all have different life experiences. So if someone gets in a situation, right, and they have the option to extend someone grace or forgiveness, allow them to do that because you don't know what it took for that person to get to that point in their life. I'm telling y'all what I know. I have forgiven so many people, and I feel like a lot of y'all probably can relate to this. There's been so many situations, people, or whatever that you may have experienced or witnessed that didn't deserve forgiveness, and you just gave it to them anyway. Because I don't care what you say. And this is why I tell y'all to protect your peace and protect your mind and your mental and all of that. Because those are when you're able to do that, those moments is where that's going to show up. That's where you're going to see if somebody's healed. That's where you're going to see if somebody is mature or has evolved in life when those tough moments, when them hard decisions come about, or they got to make a choice. And that's what I be talking about. It's just crazy to me, like how because of what, and then you sit here and you try to make fun of people who do believe in God. And I was sharing this with my sis, and I say, you know what? Or was it her? I don't know if it was her. It might have been my husband or something. I don't remember. But what I was sharing was, or actually, honestly, now that I think about it, probably was my daughter. But I was saying, like, people talk about people who they feel like, oh, she thinks she did, she thinks she that, oh, she think her life so good, oh, she think her life perfect, da 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 da. Do y'all not understand that some people have what they have because of things that they've gone through in the past? Hey, Amber, welcome in, baby. Happy Friday. Some people go through stuff or they turn out to be who they are because of things that they went through in their past. And that could be good or bad. I done seen some shit, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. I done been through some stuff. I've been through a lot of levels of betrayal and all of that, right? And so my reaction to things may not look like your reaction to things. So in situations that I'm put in, maybe I feel like I should forgive this person based on how I was raised, things I've experienced, things I've witnessed, or I could be the person that be like, fuck that, I don't ever want to talk to you again, blah blah blah. That's my prerogative. So it's crazy to me like how people will make a mockery and talk about people and try to disparage people for where they are in their life and not even fully understand the context. Right? I think I was in Sabrina's live and she's just like saying like shout out to you, Sabrina. I'm sure you'll probably catch the replay. But she was saying something about like, oh, Ashley, like I really appreciate that you are someone who is in a relationship, but you don't flaunt that. Like it doesn't make you who you are, right? Because what I understand is, and that's not even just my relationship, that's just how I am in life. Like you can search all my accounts. I'm sure most of you have, because there's been so much beef in this damn sector, child. They probably know everything about me. People weird, right? What you're not gonna find is me posting my cars, my houses, my this, my that, or whatever. You know why? Because it don't fucking matter. This is my personal life. Me having a YouTube platform or whatever platforms that I'm on has nothing to do with the things that I am accomplishing in my real life, unless it is a part of my content, right? Unless I'm trying to show you how to buy a house or I'm trying to show you how to rent out a house, those type of things. That's not information that I really need to share with you just to try to stunt on somebody, right? So that's why y'all don't really see me posting my husband, my kid, outside of people being weird and stalkering and saving your fucking family's pictures and videos and shit in their phone so they can use it as content when they get mad at you and shit like that. Outside of that, that's why you do not see me posting stuff like that, because that is just something I am grateful for, because that's between me and the big man upstairs. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to me, like how people, oh, this person think they this, they think they that. You don't understand what people went through to get to where they are in life. And what I can tell you, when people like to holler karma, 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 karma can be good and bad, right? You can also get good karma, because when you sow good seeds, like extending people grace, extending people forgiveness, and just understanding where they may have been coming from instead of just being on some F them forever type energy all the time, right? Sometimes that stuff comes back, y'all. That stuff comes back. Little stuff. Like I had an appointment yesterday. I got there 30 minutes early. Guess what they did? Guess what they did? You can come on back. We'll go ahead and get you in. Then I have to have a procedure done. Guess what he told me? I don't have no openings from my recollection. I don't have no appointments till the end of June. And my heart sank because I'm like, man, I got stuff to do. It's the summer. I got plans with my kids. He's like, give me 1 second. He goes out the room. Guess what he did? He came back. He said, I got you 2 appointments. All within the first week of June, y'all. When he had just told me, to his recollection, he didn't have another appointment. So then I need an appointment prior to that, right? Prior to the procedure, I got to do two appointments, to make sure everything is everything checks out, because you can't have no type of procedure if you got problems, right? So he tells me go to radiology to go schedule this other appointment. The man gives me the appointment at the end of May, right? I was like, sir, do you have anything earlier, because my follow-up is the end of May? Guess what he said? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Looks in the computer. You can come Monday. As in, what's today? Friday? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is the stuff I'm talking about, y'all. And this type of stuff will go right over y'all head. This stuff will go right over y'all head. Y'all think, oh, thank you. Like, it's a relief. No, girl, that's karma. That's good karma coming back. You know why? Because you let somebody pass you in traffic, or you let something go, or you extended somebody grace, or you apologize when you was wrong about, like, that's how that stuff come back in your life. You end up with favor in so many areas of your life, whether that's your cars, your houses, favor with appointments, favor with money. Oh, speaking of money, I got another deposit this morning out of nowhere. Like, that's the type of stuff I'm talking. So that's why you don't understand why people make the choices that they make. So why you judging somebody or calling somebody demonic or crazy or weak or all, like, that's why their life look the way it look. Why you mad, jealous, and hating and thinking that they think they better. They don't think nothing. Because what I do is spend a lot of time being grateful. And I do mean a lot of time being grateful. And a lot of people can't say that because they're too jealous hearted, sitting here looking to see what the next person got, trying to compare what this person got versus that person. And when you should just be focusing on your life and your blessings and your accomplishments. But people can't do that. You know why? Because it's all a competition. It's all about getting one up on somebody else. It's all trying to pretend like you more woke than the next person. And that's not what matters. If you pay attention to what matters in real life and stop trying to allow your pride and your ego to lead the way in your life, a lot of stuff might, a lot of doors might open up for you. Let me catch up on these comments. Child, I ain't gonna see. I don't know why I go live because I be child. I be going left field a lot. I take the dang on notes and then be talking about everything else. Um, let me see. Hmm. Okay, Ross says, yeah, but he knew that was going to happen when him and his son spoke out on the news. His son told three different stories. Right, Ross, I agree. Jasmine said, when I listened to Emmett Till's mom and she spoke vengeance being God's, how she had to forgive them for her, not them, but she also spoke on both men lost two sons each. Four people lost their life. That's what I'm saying, Jazz. But you know what? People will think that's a perfect example. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because that's, I kid you not, every time I watch Emmett, that movie on Prime Till, I cry every time because I ain't never lost a child, but I can empathize. I can only imagine the pain being a mom. The way she just screamed from her gut from losing her son and knowing that she wasn't gonna get no justice and still tried to get justice and she didn't get it. And she still chose to live her life and tell her story and just forgive and let God handle it. That's the stuff I'm talking about. And even though we didn't see the justice, right? That lady died and finally admitted it in her last days and nothing happened to her. She wasn't held accountable. You can't tell me that like that lady ain't live a blessed life. You can't tell me. You may not see it, but I'm telling you, I bet you she didn't want for nothing. I bet you that. Thank you so much, Hassan. I'll see you on my next one, baby. Thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Ross says it triggers them too. That's the only way they know how to deal with it. They need help. Absolutely, Ross. I agree. Jasmine says, due to the actions of their dad, I'm sure people laughed and talked about her, but God vindicated her not just because of his word promise, but because of her obedience to Christ and forgiveness holds you. I'm telling you, Jazz, you better tell them. You better tell them. People be thinking it's funny, and then they make jokes about Christianity, but that's the side of Christianity that they don't speak on. That's the side of Christianity they don't speak on. All these woke people praying to the sun, moon, the stars, the dirt, the rocks, and all that shit. They on here calling people demons and being pretend activists and acting like they so woke that they can't understand how somebody could be forgiving and understanding. Although they human as hell, they human like the rest of us and they mess up, right? Sometimes they get it wrong, whether they want to believe that or admit it or not. Sometimes they get it wrong too, right? But they not going to admit that. You know why? Because they want to believe that ego and that pride. Like, I can't be wrong. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. Um, Lolita says, what documentary? It's actually a movie, Lolita. It may be a documentary as well, but it's a movie on Prime called Till, Till. And it just talks about the life of Emmett Till. It's a movie, and it's really good. It's really good, child, because some documentaries not good. And it's not a documentary, it's an actual movie. But it tells the story of Emmett Till and how he lost his life, like how it all played out or what have you. And it's just get you a box of tissue. Just get you a box of tissue. I ain't gonna hold you because me and my kids cried. I'm not even gonna. Every time I watch it, I just on that part. Sometimes I turn it off because I just every time that part hit the same way every time because I'm just like it's just terrible and it's a real story. I really appreciate movies that tell a real story, something that actually happened, and that's one of them. Free says, do both actually forgive them and F them, especially if the energy isn't reciprocated. Exactly, Free. And that is the case in some situations I do, but not all, you know. It just depends. But you know, I'm heavy on the reciprocating energy now. Open book says preach. Okay, you hear me, open book? Let me stop. Let me see. These people don't understand forgiveness, peace, love, nothing. Listen, Jazz, you preaching, girl. Lolita, I've seen it on Prime, but I think it's on Netflix as well, like Free said. I try daily to extend grace and mercy because I would want it to be done for me, but people love to hold others to their past. Absolutely, Jazz. And that's why I said, I'm telling you, there's going to be a time where you're gonna need grace. I kid y'all not. Remember, I was telling y'all laughing that I don't like driving over here in Europe because I'm always getting a ticket. Again, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all how big God works. Since y'all want to laugh at Christians and Christianity and all that type of stuff, guess what happened? We got a notice in the mail saying that they owed us the money back. That's what I'm talking about. We done paid money for this ticket that I was quote unquote speeding on or whatever. And I ain't gonna lie, I probably was speeding, but in Europe, baby, you can't even speed over like 2 or 3. They will give you a ticket. But we got a notice in the mail, girl, that we finna get the refund. They giving us the money back that we paid on the ticket. You can't tell me that favor ain't a thing. And that's why I tell y'all sometimes you gotta let God fight your battle. And this ain't even on no, I ain't been to church in a long time, but that don't change the fact that I do have a relationship with God and I do believe in him. Period. And if you don't, that's your prerogative. I ain't trying to force them on you, but I'm just saying, allow people to believe what they want to believe without throwing daggers and trying to, oh, y'all Christians and fake this and fake that. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't believe no more, especially if you was a Christian at some point. Like, just cut it out, bro. Thank you so much, Open Book. I appreciate you, baby. Um, Gwen says, "Amen." Gratefulness, absolutely. Make sure it's a very sad thing. What network? God shows us grace every day, and that's what you have to remember. Exactly, Brandy. I just wish more people, and I get it, not everybody will, and that's cool. But I just wish people could respect those who do. And instead of trying to use it against them or to try to use it as some type of measuring stick, to try to determine who's demonic, who's not, and all this other stuff. Like, come on. Like, just worry about yourself. I'm telling you, life is so much easier, so much peaceful, and so much quieter if you just worry about yourself. I'm telling y'all, just focus on you and what you're working on and what you're building. I'm telling you, the blessings will come. They will fall in your lap without you even looking for them. And it's not always money, y'all. It's favor. It's like I just told y'all, we got that notice. We finna get an unexpected refund on a ticket that I was speeding on. I wasn't speeding by much, but I was speeding. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many blessings there. Like, but people get caught up. People get caught up. Hey, Miss Judy, welcome in. She says, listening while working, honey, get your money. Jasmine says, look at God. I found a wallet in the store, turned it in. Next day, my son dropped his wallet and someone turned it in. I said, now look, God, if I would have kept that wallet. See what I'm saying, Jazz? Little stuff like that. And guess how many people would have kept it? God, they would have kept that wallet. You know they would have. You would have never seen it again. But that's how I am. I act the way I would if I'm I try to act, and I say this all the time. People probably think I'm BSing. I try to treat people the way I would want to be treated. Baby, if you find my purse, please turn it in. Because I'm gonna turn yours in. Because baby, I'm gonna want to fight you, girl, if you don't turn my purse in. Is you serious? Like, girl, give me my stuff. Like, get out of here. You can finally see me in your chat. Miss Judy, I have 2 browsers open. So one of them I'm not signed in on, so I can see the people who I can't see. So I still cannot see you in my actual chat, but I can see you if I am logged out on the browser. So that's what I've been doing here recently so that I can still see and communicate with everyone. So facts, let go and let God. Absolutely, Gwen. Absolutely. Okay, let me get back to my notes, child. Hopefully I'll get through them this time. So anyway, so back to what I was saying about bandwagoners, right? So the thing about bandwagoners is that they are prone to partake in a term known as dogpiling. Sorry, I gave y'all 2 terms today, right? And so dogpiling is something that is used to describe content creators that basically try to jump another content creator or another social media influencer or something of the sort, right? It's basically like internet jumping is known as dogpiling, right? Let me make sure. Okay. So it starts as quote unquote calling someone out, and then it quickly turns to like public humiliation, group shaming, or just straight up mass rejection, right? Often over something that could have been handled obviously on the back end privately, or at least in a sensible manner, right? And it's not about accountability anymore. It becomes more about punishment when it comes to dogpiling, right? And so the goal with dogpiling isn't always just to call someone out. It's really and truly about trying to isolate someone. And I'm not going to hold you. I feel like that is why we see so many things unfolding on social media, because everything is about isolating someone or deleting someone or trying to get somebody page gone or trying to demonetize somebody. It's always the goal at some point becomes trying to basically be destructive, right? Like to what is the word I'm trying to find? Lord have mercy. It's basically deplete or demolish someone, like get them out the picture completely, right? And so if creators that they have collaborated with in the past start speaking out, it signals to the audience, that this person isn't safe to support anymore. And it becomes like a social exile. Again, the ultimate goal to isolate a certain target. At some point in time, every knee shall bow. Absolutely, Gwen. Huh. You better know it. Um, so anyway, once a few, big creators speak out, then you have others follow. Again, bandwagoners, right? Not because they're deeply, they've deeply thought about the subject or the issue or the social problem or whatever, but because they don't want to be the only one not saying something, right? Out of fear. So then people pile on or dog pile on to protect themselves, to protect their brand, to protect their platform or whatever. I have to speak up, or I have to say this, or I have to side this way, or my platform or my brand could be affected, basically, right? And so you'll know when you're witnessing quote unquote dogpiling, because people who've never engaged with the person are suddenly exposing the person. Again, y'all saw me speak on it with someone else the other day that definitely was trying to jump in on some shit they didn't know about, trying to quote unquote expose someone as being a flip flopper. Or you'll know if you are witnessing dogpiling, if everyone's repeating, the same take with no real added value on the situation. Again, regurgitation. Um, if the criticism becomes personal and not constructive, you'll know if it's dogpiling. And I've talked to you guys about that several times before when I visited other sectors and other creators. You can tell the difference in someone who's being personal. They'll talk about their looks and their hair and this and their teeth and all of that. Whereas if it's a content creator that's really truly doing commentary or constructive criticism, it's information that can be useful, right? Like, I noticed she does this, but maybe she should think about this, or this is like they give you decent feedback. Like, this is what I witnessed. This is what it should look like, or this is what it shouldn't look like, or whatever. They don't start making it about the person's family, the way they look, the way they smell, what size they are, their hair, their teeth, their nails, their eyes, all this other irrelevant stuff. That's how you will know if you are witnessing some sense of dogpiling, right? Another thing you will notice is that followers, subscribers, members, whatever you want to label it as, will be encouraged and or allowed to harass this target as well. No one is allowed to offer, a difference of opinion without being attacked. Those are examples of dogpiling, right? So if the person doesn't respond fast enough, that silence is seen as an admission of guilt, right? But when they do respond, then every word gets dissected or dismissed. Again, perfect example of dogpiling. Like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, right? And so if someone's perspective challenges, a widely accepted narrative, that's being pushed, especially around sensitive issues, then it's easier to label the person as problematic rather than to engage with their ideas, right? And so the dogpiling or the quote unquote jumping of the content creator or public figure or whatever serves as a way to silence their voice, right? By overwhelming it with noise and hate and attacks and ridicule and things like that, right? So then the narrative basically locks in, and then once people or enough people agree to who the quote unquote villain is, then the conversation closes, right? And even if a new context comes out, right, they try to defend themselves, they try to debunk a lie or what have you, people don't care because it's too late. Because they've already been dismissed. And again, the narrative has locked in, and the court of public opinion has ruled. So It's definitely not right, doesn't make it right, but it is what it is. And that's unfortunately just how social media plays out. And it's just things that that you have to be aware of. Miss Judy says YouTube is annoying. Yes, it is. At some point in time, every knee shall bow. And you got ads again. Yes, Miss Judy, we are back monetized, baby. I think about 2 weeks now. So I am very grateful and excited. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all, because I've been a little bit over an hour. But the takeaway here, we just have to understand that some people love seeing others fall, especially successful or confident creators or just people in general outside of the content creating world. And so a lot of quote unquote accountability content is made without actually verifying facts. And it sucks because content creators, such as myself, end up fighting for what we built, all because someone solidified a false narrative about you, your brand, or whatever, and people run with it and swear that it is the Bible, right? And then the cycle repeats after some time, and the mob moves on. There's a new villain, a new target, a new person to attack. And so the old one is left behind, damaged, silenced, or straight up forgotten. Then it's, oh, no one's checking for that person. They don't have support. Those type of comments and things are made against trying to solidify a narrative, right? And unfortunately, sometimes these people get an apology. Most times they don't. But again, now there is a new target, right? I think a lot of this happens because the culture doesn't have space for redemption, right? Y'all witnessed it right here on my platform the other day and also in the recent past. I'm deemed everything but my name because I allow people to redeem themselves and fix their wrong. And I too fix my wrong with them as well. And unfortunately, society right now, or just in general, just has no space for redemption, right? So I encourage you guys. Hey, Sabrina, welcome in, baby. Yes, you are late, girl. I'm finna get off. Home Me Hype says, you talking, Miss Chats. I'm listening. It's prom weekend, so I'm in and out. It's prom weekend here too, girl. Prom's tomorrow. That's so funny. Amazing. Um, so anyway, this is what I wanted to say to you guys, right? Don't be a bandwagoner in life in no sense of the word, whether you're a content creator or not, in the real world, outside of the internet, whatever. Don't be a bandwagoner, right? Because real people lead, right? Real ones lead. They don't follow trends. They stand on their own truth, even if it's not trending and even if no one claps, right? Don't just believe what's popular. Believe what is real and what is right and what aligns with your moral code and your beliefs, right? What sits right in your gut, right? What aligns with your soul, right? Don't hop on every opinion because it's loud, right? Quiet does not mean wrong. Not all the time. It can, but it's not that's not automatic, right? And loud doesn't mean right, right? So don't mimic someone else's path, because your timing, your style, your voice, or whatever, that all makes you unique, right? And all of that is sacred, right? So don't trade it for applause. Don't trade it for clout and views and clicks and likes and all of that. Don't trade in who you truly are authentically, right? And I also wanted to say, like, in a world full of echoes, right? Be an original sound, right? Don't just be a part of the echo chamber, right? People are hungry for authenticity, and everybody claim they so real and all that. But what you see is that a lot of people bandwagon and just copy one another. And again, it's a lot of regurgitation on this online space, right? So be the person who thinks and feels and leads with your own personal intention, right? Know why you're doing what you're doing instead of just following the crowd, right? Trends fade, y'all, but integrity does not. And that's the takeaway for my topic today. Like, be who you are, baby. And I'm telling you, somebody is going to love that. Somebody is going to appreciate that. And somebody is going to show up for that. Stop trying to bend and mend and fold into what people want you to be. Because you know what's crazy? You'll do all of that and people still won't check for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people still won't have nothing to do with you. Hey, Veronica, welcome in, baby. People still, and that's the thing. When you put on this circus act or you try to pretend that you are something that you are not, once you stop doing that, because I don't care what you say, you can only act and pretend for so long, baby. Who you truly are is who is going to shine through, right? And so then people, if they still don't like who you are, outside of the act, unless you're going to continue to perform, you're wasting your time because they're still not going to check for you and they're going to check out when they see who you really are. We see it here all the time, every day here on the platform, right? Just be who you are, baby, and just embrace that because somebody out there appreciates exactly you for who you are. You ain't got to be nothing special. You ain't got to do like it's crazy. People be on here like trying to prove what they look like, how big or small or light or dark or like, girl, I don't give a fuck what you think, girl. I don't at all. Think whatever you want, girl. When you get done, I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna take my ass to bed. Is you serious? Like, girl, I'm gonna have me something to drink, a little snacky snack before I go to bed. Like, baby, it's so much more to life. It's so much more to life. That is stressful. That is no way to be. Just be who you are authentically. Don't be a bandwagoner, y'all. Content creating is an amazing thing. And I feel like it really provides a lot of opportunity for you to finally showcase who you are. So, out of all the things that you could be, why would you be a replica of someone else or a replica of what someone else represents or what, how someone else thinks? Baby, just be you. It's crazy like how many people have come to this platform and they had a plan for their page or their profile and it was working for them and then they allowed themselves to be guided off into left field to do something completely different from what aligns with who they are and what they believe in. And that just makes content creating complicated for no reason. We could just be and do what you said you was gonna be and do. It's that simple. Not you going to bed. Sabrina, listen, girl. I mean, I ain't going to bed as soon as I get off here, but girl, it's almost 9, girl. I will definitely be asleep probably in the next 2 hours. No shade, girl. I am tired. Do you hear me? Honey, I am productive and very much a wife with 3 kids. Girl, I'll be listen, be doing laundry, cooking dinner, uh helping Ava with her folder. Girl, it's papers all over my bed and everything. Like, girl, your girl is tired. So I definitely will probably be sleeping like 2 hours, no shade, or what have you. But again, I wanted to give you guys one more live today. I mean this week. So that is this live. I will be back again next week. I don't know. I may come on this weekend if I have something that I just really want to say, but most likely I will not because I don't think you guys are very active on the weekend unless it's some bullshit. Y'all know y'all pulling up to the mess. But outside of that, y'all be kind of doing y'all own thing, and I get it. Most of us are off on the weekends, and you just trying to love on your family and all that, and I'm here for it. And actually, our Spring Fest is back, yo. Now, listen, y'all know I do not like Germany, but honey, when the Spring Fest, which is basically like the state fair in the states, baby, when the fest pull up, I'm like, and it's been raining for 2 days. I'm hoping to God and all his angels tomorrow day is not raining because me and my babies want to go to fest. What you mean? Like we trying to go to fest all weekend. So I probably will not be live to be honest. I'm sorry from that Chick-fil-A. I got the itis now. Listen, girl, I miss Chick-fil-A. Ugh. And there is not one in the part of New York. I don't even know if it's one in New York at all, but it's definitely not in the part where I be at. Might sneak in that myself. Listen, replay. I'm mad I didn't get my notifications. Damn you, YouTube. Have a great day. So you too, Hot Wings Lover. Definitely play it back and hit the like for me, baby. I appreciate you. I'm trying to get out of that for real though. That fest sounds fun. Yes, my kids love it, honey. It's just basically like a huge ass fair. Like it's a lot of fun. I ain't gonna hold you. My childish ass be on them roller coasters with them. Like, babe, hold my bag. We'll be back. So we have a lot of fun. So I'm hoping it's not raining tomorrow because when it rains here, it's cold. It be cold here until like June. So I'm like, listen, Linda, can we get like a 60 or a 65 tomorrow so we can go to the fest? Because I want to go to the fest. But anyway, I'm gonna get up off of here. I do appreciate y'all for coming through and kicking it with me for a little while. Please make sure you have hit that like button for me if you have not already. And yeah, I will catch y'all on my next live. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Stay stress free, protect your mental energy and your space, baby. And keep on, being you, baby. Don't be a bandwagoner. If you don't take nothing else from this live, don't be a bandwagoner. Okay? Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Love you too, humble me, hype girl. Be blessed, everyone. Have a great weekend, Ashley. Thank you so much, Miss Judy. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all on my next one. Y'all be great.